Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Craig. This is Mutt's Gear Shack. I've had a lot of questions about shaving necks, mainly on the dime guitars, because these copies have a really fat neck, and people have been asking me, how would you shave that neck down? Well, this is some older footage I had from a video, and I hope this will help you out to a degree. It's removing all the finish off of this neck here. It was a Squire Classic Vibe neck. These are really good necks, have nice frets in them. So this is going to show you exactly how I remove the finish. I slightly reprofiled the back of the neck to more of an asymmetrical feel. So the base side's a little bit fatter in your hand and this side's more tapered. Kind of like my Ernie Ball Music Man Axis neck. And I also did the same thing, the Birchwood Casey True Oil and a gunstock wax on it for a feel. And it's just really smooth, natural feeling neck. Also scalloped the last few frets, and I'll go over how I did the scalloping if you're interested in the scalloping. It's kind of fun just to play around on. I've done a couple necks in the past. I've done another video where I remove a lot of material off of Chibson Zach Wild copy that I've got. It's got a huge neck, so I'll be completely reprofiling that in an upcoming episode. I'm also going to be modding that guitar. Hopefully this video will help you out and show you how I remove the finish off of this. Just made it for a great feeling neck too. So let's get to the video, guys. So much scraping. This took so long. I did this over a course of several different days. If you're determined, you can make it happen, but it's definitely a time-consuming process. Just kind of want to go easy. You don't want to put too much pressure. You don't want to dig in or have the razor blade skip over top of your fret and damage the fret. These fretboard edges are rolled a little bit, but I'll also use this and kind of roll the fret edges a little bit more, or the fretboard edges. Be careful too, because you don't want to flatten out the radius, much more. So you just kind of keep working back and forth. And it's a Squire Classic Vibe 50s necks. These necks are actually pretty decent. Tried different methods. You can use aircraft stripper, different things, finish stripper, but it really doesn't do much on these finishes that they've got on here. This stuff is so thick. Carefully go along the edge here. Just make sure you got all of it off of there. You just want to be very careful. You don't want to scratch your fretboard or damage your frets. As you can see, though, it's starting to look pretty good. And then you can also lightly, carefully sand the fretboard. This makes it pretty smooth, though, surprisingly, with the razor blade. It's hard to have patience sometimes, but you definitely want to have patience when you're doing this. If you get going too crazy, like I said, you can have the razor blade jump over top of the fret and scratch the fret, and you do not want to do that. And then you're having to redress your frets. Then when I get to the oil finish, I'll show you what I'm using. It's called Birchwood Casey Gunstock Oil. Put the oil finish on, you just kind of wipe it on, a few coats, and it kind of acts as a barrier, seals the wood a little bit, but gives you that natural wood feel. And then you can finish it off with their wax. We got some more light going on now. So you can see how far I've gotten here. Some of the back of the neck scraped. I'll sand this after it's done. What I've come across too is after I've gotten the orange part of the finish off, or the tinted finish, there's another sealer, like probably a sanding sealer underneath of this. And you can kind of see, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this bare wood, and there's a sanding sealer. So even after all the scraping, I'm still left with the sanding sealer on the fretboard. So it's either going to be more scraping, or I'm going to see if I can find some kind of a stripper that would take that off. I know on poly, most of the strippers just don't seem to work. So let's see if we can get down through this sanding sealer, now that we know that it's on there. Yeah, I know that is some really thick stuff. Well, lots and lots and lots of scraping to get that sanding sealer off, but I'm up to there. So those are all scraped. They'll have to be sanded with some fine grit, and then I'll use some True Oil on it. So I've started on the back a bit more scraping. So I'll scrape some. I'll try to get most of the tinted finish off, and then I'll start working on this with some heavy grit sandpaper. I want to scrape as much as I can. You can see it pulls off a lot of the thick poly that's on there, but it's slow going. Use the side edge of the razor blade. It's kind of got a rougher edge and it takes off. You can see this is just a slow process, but you'll come out with a neck that's just super smooth. Just love that natural raw wood feel. They put a thick finish on these things, that's for sure. This is definitely time consuming, but I've tried so many different methods over the years. You know, if it's a nitro finish neck, nitrocellulose, it's easy. You know, just wipe a little stripper on. You gotta be careful of your dots, but it just comes right off. You can almost just wipe it off. But this stuff, it's something else. Try not to get too choppy. I'm just trying to work a line at a time. That way I don't have deep grooves. I'm paying for the headstock. I'm not going to strip this down completely. I'm going to lightly scuff this up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the whole headstock black. And I'm going to wrap it around here and make a stinger onto the back. So the whole headstock will be black with a little black stinger coming onto it. All this will be removed though completely. I think it'll look pretty cool. Definitely makes a mess, but you can see we're getting there. Gotten through all the sanding sealer on the front. I just got the last few frets to do. Got the sides of the heel, the back. I just got to do the heel itself, and just a little bit right in through here. This side here is all done. Then I'll do some finish sanding on this to smooth it all up. It's definitely a process. Just kind of even slide, just kind of slightly rotating the neck as you go, just so you're not taking off too much. Working on this for about 3 days, just a little bit here and there. It's hard on your fingers holding the razor blade. I've been wetting it, because then you can kind of really see where there's finish and where there isn't. Helps me kind of figure out where I'm at. This ain't really a how-to video, it's just a how I do it video. A little disclaimer in there. So if you do this to your neck and you screw it up, it's on you, not me. It just gives you an idea how I go about doing this. Trying to make a smooth transition, so I start with the blade a little bit flatter and then kind of work up. Like I said earlier, I'm going to paint the headstock all black, and it's going to have a stinger on the very back of it. So I'm just kind of making a smooth transition, smooth as I can get it before I start the sanding process. This old poly just sands like steel. It's ridiculous. Try to make my life a little easier as I go, but it's just going to make an amazing feeling neck. Oh, I've almost got it. All right, so you can see I'm scalloping the last few frets here. I'm scalloping the last 5 frets. This is just kind of the beginning of it. To get it started, you just kind of gotta work your way over really carefully. Try to get a groove going. I'm just using a rasp. Get to number 8. You want to be careful because you don't want to get into the frets. Kind of work the way across this. But you can see, you know, getting a little spot started. This in here, I got a little groove going on this one. You just keep working it till you get this smooth, and then I'll finish it out with some different grades of sandpaper. Then we're gonna put a true oil finish on and wax it. And I'll clean up the frets a little bit. This will be a nice plain neck. Kind of got to carefully work out of the edges too, just so you can get the width that you want. Gotta be careful on your depth. I'm gonna try not to get into the side dots. This is only the second neck I've been scalloping on. And my first time using a rasp. The first time I used a Dremel, and it worked pretty good. But you gotta be really careful on the Dremel because I did nick a couple frets. This is a lot more controllable, but a lot slower. A lot of people think that scalloping will make you play faster, but it's not really the case. It's more about vibrato control, you know, string bending. It requires a lot lighter touch, that's for sure. So if you're a heavy-handed player, you'll bend a lot of the notes sharp to begin with. And it's a different feel. Work across the fretboard too. You don't want to go straight across because you want to kind of follow the radius of the neck. So it's just kind of working like this. Just kind of working the slots, the scallops. Trying to get all the file marks out. Definitely smoothing them up. So here's our finished product. I stuck a little decal that I had laying around on. This neck plays fantastic. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I even reliced it a little bit here and there just to kind of match the body since the body's pretty beat up. Decal I just had laying around, so I stuck it on there. Well, hopefully that helped you out in some degree, and maybe gives you some tips on how to remove the finish off your neck. Like I said, if you want to remove a whole lot of material, you're going to need like a rasp and some other woodworking tools, some scrapers and different things. Or you can just go the old-fashioned method and just use some heavy grit sandpaper and just keep working on it until you get it to the profile that you like. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all the likes and subscribes. It means a lot to me. We'll see you next time.